Hey, what is up, guys? I finally found the Hall of Fame on you. Well, actually, it wasn't that hard. I just typed it in and it was just there, but I didn't have the chance to find it until now. So I am going to be talking about the Hall of Fame of 2013. It was on uh April 9th, 2013, and this Hall of Fame, I think, was actually like there was so many stars there. You had um Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, Booker T, Mick Foley, Trish Stratus. So wait, Booker T, Bob Backlund, Trish Stratus, Mick Foley, Donald Trump. Okay, hold on, let me do it again. So you had Bob Backlund, Mick Foley, Booker T. Actually, it's on my phone. Actually, how many people were in the Hall of Fame? So we had. Let's see. Booker. I see Bob Backlund, Donald Trump, Mick Foley, Booker T, Trish Stratus, and Bruno Sammartino. So that's a stacked Hall of Fame right there. Um, and actually, the Hall of Fame was actually really good this year. I think this is actually kind of the first year I've watched the full Hall of Fame. Um, and this is actually a pretty good Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is probably the one night of the year that anything that a wrestler says you actually care about. Like you care about it when it's on the TV, but this is from the heart. So I like the fact that you get to hear that stuff, and you get to see some guys in the crowd that you don't see. But I'm just gonna start off with this video. But so let's just get on to it. Well, the host of it was Jerry the King Lawler. He's not a bad host. I think Jim Ross should have hosted. That would have been cool. And it shows like the video package of the Hall of Fame, like not this Hall of Fame, but like all the Hall of Fames. The Hall of Fame inductees like the Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Actually, I don't think it showed Bret Hart, but I'm just pointing like Hall of Famers like that. Yeah, that was actually a nice touch right there. So yeah, yeah, but that's what pretty much what it showed. Then it starts off with Mick Foley being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he actually has a nice video package. And Kofi Kingston actually said that he was in Madison Square Garden when Superfly Jimmy Snuka jumped off the cage in that famous moment, and I thought that was a nice moment right there. So it was kind of cool that he was there. But they talk about his career. Um, William Regal actually said that he was a guy that no one ever thought would be anything, and he had so much passion that he proved everybody wrong. Um, there was some great moments that they showed in there. Like oh well, they showed some of his stuff when he was like in a tag team. I don't know what his name was at that time though. But then when he came to the WWF at that time, and his like famous moments with the Undertaker, the Arkansas connection. I remember him doing an elbow onto I think at that time it was Hardest Helmsley. Um, and the Road Dog says that he was the greatest a great wrestler. I remember The Rock saying that he loved to work as a tag team with Mick Foley because he just was just great. And Road Dog House saying how there was Mick Foley is God's sign. So when he won the WWF Championship, so I think that was a nice touch right there. But then we actually have his speech, and his speech actually I think was the best. Was actually a great speech. He talks about how he was there for the Superfly Jimmy Snuka splash off the cage, and that Superfly Jimmy Snuka was in the crowd. There was a lot of guys in the crowd though that I actually recognized. Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Finley was in the crowd. If you don't know who Finley is, he was Fit Finley. He was in the ECW, and then he went to WWE. He was the United States champion, and and I guess him and Hornswoggle were he was Hornswoggle's father. So that's who Finley is. You saw a lot of guys there. I think you saw Linda McMahon there. I saw, well, the current guys were there: John Cena, Big Show, stuff like that. I actually didn't see The Rock there, to be honest with you. That's kind of strange. But yeah, there was a lot of guys there. But yeah, he comes out and he says that he's never beaten Chris. He said that the only regret in his career that he has is that he's never beaten Chris Jericho. So Chris Jericho's like, never ever. So then this is weird. So I thought, so Chris Jericho gets up on the stage, and CM Punk comes up, and Chris Jericho gets down in the elbow position, and Mick Foley does the elbow, and CM Punk is acting like a ref and so Mick Foley covers him for the win, and then he says whatever his wife's name, that he did it. So now Mick Foley's beating Chris Jericho, and actually it was kind of nice to see CM Punk in a suit. So that was a nice touch, but it was funny seeing that happen. We get a "Don't Try This at Home" ad with Dolph Ziggler talking about it. Bob Backlund inducted into the Hall of Fame. The person that inducted was Maria Menounos. Terry Funk inducted Mick Foley, and he talked about how he was like how he never gave up being a superstar. He thanked Bruno Sammartino for giving him hope, and that he was happy to be a WWE champion. And he made a joke like, "Do you remember being in Madison Square Garden? Because I don't." And then he kind of called out Triple H a little bit. But I thought that was funny. Then we get Donald Trump inducted into the Hall of Fame. Vince McMahon inducts him into the Hall of Fame, and Donald Trump gets booed the hell out of. He gets booed. He talks about how this was a great accomplishment. How the stuff that he did was at WrestleMania 4, and he meant the largest athlete he's ever seen, Andre the Giant. It shows like that clip, Hogan and Andre. He talks about how the Bellion and the Billionaires when he shaved Vince McMahon's head at WrestleMania 23. And he talked about how that had like the most pay-per-view ratings ever. And Vince McMahon tried to talk about, he hasn't. Talks about how some of them don't like him, but he likes them, and that this is one of the greatest accomplishments of his career. And then he leaves. So I thought that was fine. There's no one likes him. I don't mind him though. Booker T, and now we have Booker T inducted into the Hall of Fame. His brother Stevie Ray comes out to induct him into the Hall of Fame. He talks about how his mother had passed and how they were going through a struggle. So then Booker T comes out and says that that now wrestling's a part of his family, and it meant a lot to his wife, and he remembers being world heavyweight champion and the kin at the same time. Then he does the Spinaroonie, so that was that. So that was nice. And then we have Trish Stratus inducted into the Hall of Fame. She actually does get a video package. And Michael Cole says that she was the greatest diva women's wrestler of all time. Lita said that she was happy to have her last match with her, and she showed that they could the women could wrestle. The Bella Twins said that there was a reason women wanted to be wrestlers. AJ Lee said that main event in a Raw was something, stuff like that. Then she comes out and Stephanie McMahon's the one that inducts her. She talks her like her best friend, great wrestler. She comes out and she thanks the woman. She talks about the women's wrestling. Like she mentioned, like Jacqueline, Molly Holly. I think she mentioned. I don't actually know these wrestlers. It's just what she said. Mickey James. I forget what else she said though. Lita. She said Lita, her best friend. That was about it. Lita was actually there too. And she talked, and then she thanks her mom for doing this, and her husband, I forget what her name was, but the crowd booed the hell out of him. And then she said that she would be back in September, so I guess maybe she's gonna have like, I don't know what she's gonna be doing, but she said that there will be some Stratus factions in September, so that means she's gonna be back in September, but we don't know what she's gonna be doing. Then the last thing we have here is Bruno Sammartino being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Triple H said that there would be no WWF champion if there wasn't a Bruno Sammartino. CM Punk talked about how his WWE championship reign surpassed his, and that the narrator said that He was if you combine his title reigns, he was the champion for four because he had two for 4,040 days. So I thought that was nice. And he made it, and he stole the show in Madison Square Garden, so the stuff like that. Then Bruno Sammartino, the person that inducted him, by the way, is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He talks about how he had to run away from the Nazis when, because I think this was during the time of World War II. So he had to run away from them. He almost died a couple times, and then he started wrestling because people were picking on him because of his language and he was scrawny. So then he comes out and he talks about how he sacrificed everything. That if you're not, and he talks about how the ring used to be as hard as a boxing ring, and the scars, the injuries hurt you eventually. Then he talks about how that you can headline you could be the main guy if you and headline a bunch of times if people want to see if you fill the seats people say in your name. I guess that works for John Cena. And then he talks about how he wants to thank his family. And then the Hall of Fame ends with all the Hall of Famers up on the ramp. That was and it said on WWE.com that Rob Van Dam was there, but I didn't see Rob Van Dam there. Maybe just didn't show him, but Rob Van Dam does have a contract. I think maybe he'll be back soon. Maybe feud him with Cena. Feud him. I think maybe what you can do is you can feud him with Antonio Cesaro for the United States Championship. I think that could be good. I mean, because he can sell moves like awesome. Like, imagine if he gets him with in that uppercut. But yeah, that's fun. A video for another day. But that's the Hall of Fame. I think I like the Hall of Fame because because it's just awesome to see these guys again. Um, I was just pissed that I missed it in person. I wish I'd seen it live, but oh well. All in all, I think this Hall of Fame was a thumbs up. I think the Hall of Fame was better this year than it was last year. Um, but that's kind of like the end of WrestleMania right there, Hall of Fame. But yeah, I think next year. Oh, and I think Oh, and Donald Trump actually said that next year was gonna fight Vince McMahon, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. The Hall of Fame, nice Hall of Fame. I think they did a good job. Um, getting guys we actually wanted in there. So I think that they should do that next year. Don't get guys like Drew Carey, cause he was in the Royal Rumble match once and he didn't do shit. So don't get guys like Drew Carey. Don't get guys like Coco Beware, cause he was a jobber his whole career. I actually will laugh though if Colin Delaney gets in the Hall of Fame. But that's it for another day. That's pretty much it, guys. See you later.